Give us your best reporting on what's going on with Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
We learned today in a statement that Justice Ginsburg put out through the Supreme Court that she is undergoing treatment for a recurrence of cancer. She said that a periodic scan in February, followed by a biopsy, revealed lesions on her liver, but she was careful to point out that the treatment so far, the chemotherapy treatment that she's undergoing, has proved to be successful. So it does seem that Justice Ginsburg is headed in the right direction, and she also made sure to note that she's kept up with her opinion writing and all other court work. And as she said in the past, I would remain a member of the court so long as I can do the job full steam, and she made clear in her statement that she said she's remaining fully able to do that.
So, Jordan, there's never a good time to have cancer, I think it's fair to say. But if you're a Supreme Court justice, this is not the busiest time of their term. They've already ended their last term. They haven't begun their new term yet. And traditionally, Supreme Court justices go home and they sort of work on some cert petitions and things, but they don't have quite the same caseload. So is this a good time for her to really fight this cancer?
Well, what's interesting, David, is that the scenario you laid out in terms of it getting a little quieter right after the term is often the case. However, this week has been incredibly busy behind the scenes at the Supreme Court. They haven't been hearing arguments, but in a series of late-night orders related to the death penalty, the justices have handed down opinions at 2 and 3 in the morning. So Justice Ginsburg and the rest of the justices have been working even more than full steam than usual, even though the public isn't seeing them argue cases. They really haven't even fully gone on a break just yet. So as you mentioned, no good time to have it, but this has been an especially busy time for the Supreme Court, even if traditionally in the past it hasn't always been.
Justice Ginsburg is 87 years old, and we have to all be concerned about our health as we get up in 8 years. This is also not her first go-around with cancer, is it?
That's correct. Justice Ginsburg is a 4-time cancer survivor. She's also been in the hospital for other issues not cancer-related, which she noted her other recent hospitalizations, for example, to remove gallstones and to treat an infection, which we also learned about recently. She said those were unrelated to cancer. So certainly in terms of health, the world has thrown a lot at Justice Ginsburg, but she's one of the toughest ones out there, and she's been going strong despite everything.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Give us a sense of the process at the Supreme Court. Who decides whether she's up to serving or not? Is that entirely left up to her, or is there any mechanism by which the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice or otherwise, can say, we really think you better step back?
Formally, it's really up to the justice themselves, as it is with many other aspects of the court. Certainly, there have been times throughout the Supreme Court's history where perhaps it's been suggested to a justice within the court that maybe now is a good time to step down. There's not any indication that that's been happening within the court when it comes to Justice Ginsburg, but it's really something that's her decision. And as she's always said, she's going to stay on the court so long as she can do the job full steam. And the latest that we have today from her in the court is that's not going to change anytime soon.
Okay, Jordan, really appreciate you being with us. That's Jordan Rubin of Bloomberg Law reporting on Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And once again, she's a very pivotal figure on the Supreme Court of the United States. She's had cancer before, and I know we all wish her only the very best.